Let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, what up, what up, what up, what up, everybody? What's going on, man? What's up? We active, we live. Let's get it, let's get it, let's get it, man. What's going on, everybody? Look like we got Big Kilo Trey in the house. What up, man? Red in the house early as usual. What up, 803 South Cackalack? I see you in the building, man. What up? What up? All right, man. So today we got a pretty busy live, man. We're gonna be talking about several subjects involving several rappers, and the first story is actually a story talking about LA, man. We're just gonna dig a little bit more into this LA purge situation and what's going on out there in LA, man. Now, if you're in here, it looks like you already hit the like button, so man, it is what it is, but we gonna get to it, man. You know what I mean? I'm gonna wait for everybody to get in here. Who we got? Alex, Windy City Shy. What's up, man? What up, Chicago? What up? Let's go. I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm with it. Let's go, man. Let's get it. You know what I'm saying? Who else we got in the building, man? Y'all don't be shy. Shout out your cities, man. It's enough people. And I definitely got the time, man. Set back a lot of time to talk about these stories that we got today. So then, let's just get into it. So today, we're going to be talking about what's going on in LA, first off. Like, it's already been put out there that there's some sort of LA purge going on, you know? LA's a wild city right now for a lot of people to be living in. A lot of active things going on there as far as the rap community as well. And people are just on pins and needles from what's been going on with the hip hop community and in the streets, right? So you've got a story coming out of there that almost had me laughing, man, because it looks like the LAPD and the sheriff's department in one of the counties there, they've come to under the conclusion, and through a bust operation that was put in through jointly, that, there was two notorious LA gangs that were running a mail scheme, and it amounted to about $5 million. They were so lucrative in this mail scheme, man, and we're going to break that story down. After that, we're going to talk about the Atlanta DA out there playing with Young Thug and them, man. It looks like the Atlanta DA is using every card in the trick book, man. They are doing Young Thug and Gunna wild, man, and the rest of YSL. And according to the reports, most of the cats from YSL can't even afford a lawyer right now. So it's definitely not looking good. But, man, I'm going to play that story, and I'm going to tell you why I think this might be some trickery. You know what I'm saying? Some tomfoolery. But y'all do me a favor and make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Also, we're going to talk about the latest updates in the PnB Rock case. So we got the fourth suspect out there. Yes, I did say that right. The fourth suspect. And people are looking for him currently, man. They're still looking for the fourth suspect. And there's several reports about that, right? Also, we're going to delve into a little bit of this Kanye West Boosie situation and end with YG. Talk about YG and the song How to Rob a Rapper. So YG put out a song called How to Rob a Rapper, and it's almost like an instruction manual on how to do so. How to rob a rapper. Get a rapper for his money, get him for his bucks. You know what I mean? And, man, before we get into it, man, let me do a couple shout-outs. What up, Inland Empire? What up, ATL? Who else we got in here? We got B More in the house. I see Detroit up in here. What's up, man? All right, now that we got that out of the way, man, let's do what we do, man. Let's get this thing started, man, because we got a packed show, and we got a lot to discuss, man. So let's do this, man. Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get to this live. All right, so first and foremost, man, I want you guys to see this headline right here, right? So this is about a story. Well, this is a story that comes out of Southern California, the Los Angeles area to be correct, man. The whole metro area of LA has pretty much been under the watch because there's been cats in the LA community such as gangs and other nefarious criminals or people like that who have been committing crimes rampant to the point where people are scared to visit there. You have rappers scared to go out there. They would never admit it, but you can kind of tell by the actions and things that's going on. There's recently a video of the Migos going out to LA and they're heavy securityed up. Like every rapper out there is heavy securityed up. But it looks like these gangs, man, two gangs to be specific, mastermind and plotted together this scheme using the U.S. Postal Service in order to get $5 million, man. So let's actually look at what went down. So you see the headline here. It says dozens arrested in massive SoCal mail theft scheme involving nearly $5 million in losses. Now, California Attorney General Rob Bonetta said that there was a total of 569 victims. Now, these two notorious gangs that were working together to get this accomplished ended up to come up with a scheme that seemed pretty simple, but man, just flew under the radar for too long, man. Now, what they've been saying is that, dozens, like in this headline, it says dozens were arrested, but it's more like 56 people were arrested, man. It wasn't just a dozen people or anything like that, man. It was a lot of people, and most of the gangs, and a lot of people don't get this. When it comes to LA, when you do the research about their gangs, like, it's usually a whole hood. It could be hundreds, maybe even 1,000. It's a lot of people, man, usually that fall under these gangs. So they had a lot of moving parts, I should say, in order to get this scheme accomplished. Now, what I want to do is also talk about, how LA has been going crazy with the crime. But we kind of touched on that in the opening, man. LA's been going wild. Like, there's nothing new about that. We know that, since the PPP money done drived up, or what do they call it? The EDD money out there. People had a taste for that cash, that fast living, and since then, man, that thirst has been unquenchable. They've been doing unspeakable things, or things that they used to do but got more into just to maintain that lifestyle, just to get a little bit more cash under their belt. You had many rappers lost to that, right? You had PnB Rock lose his life. You had Pop Smoke lose his life. A lot of people have been falling prey to the greed of others out there in LA. Now, what I want to do before I get to the story is play this news story from this. You know what I mean? So let's actually break down the news story about these LA gangs and how they concocted this whole mail fraud scheme.
A multi-agency crackdown today on mail theft and postal fraud.
California's Attorney General Rob Bonta has announced the arrests of dozens of people. Eyewitness News reporter Leo Stallworth has more from Pasadena.
This investigation uncovered a bank fraud scheme that began in 2018 and continued for several years, where perpetrators allegedly deposited altered checks stolen from the U.S. mail into numerous bank accounts. The suspects would swiftly withdraw the money before the financial institutions discovered the checks were forged.
Investigators say hundreds of victims were targeted throughout California.
In this case, it was 769 victims. Hundreds of families whose hard-earned money was brazenly stolen by criminals. We're talking about birthday checks from grandma, paychecks.
The investigation including local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies, agents tracking suspects on social media and by other means.
The masterminds behind this scheme would recruit individuals on social media to open bank accounts or utilize their own checking accounts to deposit the fraudulent checks and hide their identity. This investigation identified hundreds of victims across California.
State officials basically announcing that they've made 56 arrests in this $5 million postal theft and fraud operation. The multi-agency investigation netting many of those arrests throughout LA County and surrounding counties.
Arrest warrants were executed at approximately 75 locations within Los Angeles and surrounding counties. 16 Los Angeles County Sheriff's investigative teams, which is 114 deputies, and 3 crime analysts were utilized to effect the arrests. And 47 individuals were arrested as a result of the operation. 4 individuals were already incarcerated and were additionally ad-charged. The ringleaders and suspects involved in this scheme are reported members of 2 notorious LA County criminal street gangs.
Now, this is wild, man. And that's the end of the news clip. Don't worry, I'm going to run it back. But y'all make sure y'all hit that like button if you're in here right now and you're enjoying the content. You know what I'm saying? But, man, what's crazy is that 2 street gangs. I mean, we're not talking about organized crime or anything like this or anything super big. Just 2 street gangs that are notorious in LA were able to mastermind this scheme and net over $5 million, man. Like, I mean, I hate to laugh, but, man, it had me giggling for a minute there because they was on their P's and Q's, like, to be real with you, man. I'm going to let it play one more time, and we're going to talk through it this time, man, because I know that's what y'all like. But y'all do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button if you're in here right now. We're going to run this back, man, and really go over this news story. You know what I mean?
A multi-agency crackdown today on mail theft and postal fraud.
California's Attorney General Rob Bonta has announced the arrests of dozens of people. Eyewitness News reporter Leo Stallworth has more from Pasadena.
This investigation uncovered a bank fraud scheme that began in 2018 and continued for several years, where perpetrators allegedly deposited altered checks.
All right, so they said this scheme started in 2018. So they've been doing this for about 4 years now. I mean, yeah, that's simple math, but if you look and if you listen to what they said, it was a multi-agency operation. So they probably had an idea and they were like, nah, that's just too simple, because when you listen to the scheme, and we're going to go over the scheme real quick, it seems so simple, man. It seems like anybody could put this together, man. And it probably didn't take the street gangs long to say, yo, man, they're not catching this, man. Like we recruiting different people on social media and they're using the same scheme and we funneling the money through us. I mean, it seems like, man, when it comes to gangs in LA, it seems like they're always on that enterprising type deal. You know what I mean? They always looking for a way to get cash, because obviously the cost of living out there is so high, man. They got to maintain to live or whatnot. And that's not making any excuses for any wrongdoing, but it just paints a better picture. So let's continue.
Stolen from the U.S. mail into numerous bank accounts. The suspects would swiftly withdraw the money before the financial institutions discovered the checks were forged.
All right, so did y'all catch that? So basically, they would get checks that were in the mail. And the checks that were in the mail, they would alter them in some way or forge them in some way or replicate them in some way and then take them to the same bank that they were written at and then cash them in different people's accounts, right? So say if it had one name on there, I'm assuming they would just change the name on who the check was made out to. So this is one of the most simple schemes I've ever heard in doing this, in listening to any of these things. So, and then they would have different people go and cash the checks. Seems easy, but until you recruit the wrong person, and maybe they're an officer or they're an undercover agent or something of that nature.
Investigators say hundreds of victims were targeted throughout California.
In this case, it was 769 victims. Hundreds of families whose hard-earned money was brazenly stolen by criminals.
Now, when you take into account 4 years of them doing this, both gangs, 700 people, $5 million, man, that must have been, some of those checks must have been huge. You know what I mean? Yeah, so let's go.
We're talking about birthday checks from grandma, paychecks.
The investigation including local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies, agents tracking suspects on social media and by other means.
The masterminds behind this scheme would recruit individuals on social media to
always social media, man. You gotta watch Instagram and everything like that, man, because it'd be like everybody. I know everybody gets like sketchy texts or whatever, or DMs where they be like, man, who in the world is this? And it'd be stuff like that, man. So it's crazy.
open bank accounts or utilize their own checking accounts to deposit the fraudulent checks and hide their identity. This investigation identified hundreds of victims across California.
State officials basically announcing that they've made 56 arrests in this $5 million postal.
I heard somebody else. I saw somebody else in the chat caught that when the police commissioner, or the dude who was in charge of the investigation, he was like, "Man, they was stealing from grandmas. Birthday checks from grandma. Man, that's freaking hilarious, dog." Like, all right, let's rock.
Theft and fraud operation. The multi-agency investigation netting many of those arrests throughout LA County and surrounding counties.
Arrest warrants were executed at approximately 75 locations within Los Angeles and surrounding counties. 16 Los Angeles County Sheriff's investigative teams, which is 114 deputies, and 3 crime analysts were utilized to effect the arrests. And 47 individuals were arrested as a result of the operation. 4 individuals were already incarcerated and were additionally...
What I wonder is, they said some of the guys who were arrested were already incarcerated, right? Now, for those who how many of these people actually work for the post office? Like, they had to have an inside person. And of 56 people arrested, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of those people had to be postal workers. Now, this is where it's going to play out in court. We'll see, man. I wonder if they were pressured or they felt like pressured by the gangs to do this, or they were just greedy, man, like everybody else.
Charged. The ringleaders and suspects involved in this scheme are reported members of 2 notorious LA County criminal street gangs.
Now, they weren't trying to give the street gangs any type of credit or shine for putting this scheme together. But when you think about it, on the surface, it's a pretty easy scheme. You know, like they're just basically taking checks, altering them in some way, forging them in some way, copying them in some way, and taking them straight to the bank and cashing them and cashing them out in enough time to where they can't really catch it that same day. And somebody was lacking. Somebody was like, yo, we ain't going to double check this. To think this went on for 4 years without them catching it, you would think that banks, their screening process, you know, their how they look at, you know, how you do, like their, not their screening process. What do you call it? Where you vet things. There you go. Their vetting process on each transaction would be more thorough than that, man. You would think, yo, they would be like looking at each and every transaction over with a fine-tooth comb in order to catch things like this. And it's apparent through this scheme, and I'm not trying to encourage anybody else, that they weren't. You know what I mean? I think that's the reason why they left the name of the banks out of this, and they just put it as a postal scam, because this is very much a bank fraud scam as it is a postal scam. You know, the way that the post office was, or the way that they were using the post office, you know, was only a minimal part in this. If the banks were doing their just dues, they wouldn't even be able to carry this scheme off. You know what I mean? But let's do this, man. Let's actually look at the story, the real story connected to this. So let me bring that up real quick, because I think there's some points in there that are good to make. There we go. All right. So in this story you see right here, it says Pasadena, California, local ABC. It says more than 80 people are facing grand theft, money laundering, and conspiracy charges after a massive mail theft investigation revealed they stole nearly $5 million from the hundreds of victims across California, authorities announced on Friday. According to the California Attorney General's office, a large bank fraud scheme, which began in 2018 and continued for several years, involved suspects allegedly depositing altered checks stolen from the U.S. mail into various bank accounts. Now, to steal them from the U.S. mail, they obviously had to have somebody on the inside working for the mail in order to get this done. Now, those behind the schemes recruited individuals on social media and got them to open up bank accounts or utilize the individual's own checking account. So that's the difference, and that's the point. So basically, they stole the checks straight from the post office, right? Then they had to find them somebody, I'll call them a dummy or whatever, on social media, right? They'll find them on social media. They'll get them to open up a bank account or use their own bank account, which is the dumbest thing in the world. That would be stupid, you know what I'm saying? To use their bank account that they use for everything that they do in their life, but whatever. Like, they wouldn't catch that. But the way that this is playing out, you could tell that the banks were just not watching, you know, not watching these transactions. So they said they got them to utilize the individual's own bank accounts to try to conceal their identities when depositing the forged checks. Now, if they're depositing the checks in the dummy's account, man, there's too many rooms for error. Like, I thought the scheme would be more elaborate than that. But, I mean, it went on for 4 years, so, I mean, maybe less is more. Now, the suspects would swiftly withdraw the money before the financial institution discovered the checks were forged, said Carol Harris with the U.S. Postal Inspection Service in L.A. So what would happen to the person that they recruited on social media when it's found out that the check was forged and that person used their own account or not a dummy account that they made in another name, man? They would probably, I don't know, this wasn't good thinking. And maybe that's why they got so many people, because in this, they arrested 57 people. That's not by mistake or accident. They got all those people pretty much involved, I bet. Now, the California Attorney General talked about, like, there were 769 victims. Now, a total of 34 teams from local, state, and federal agencies made 56 arrests, many of which were made in the Los Angeles County and surrounding counties. They put out, like, approximately, what did they say? Arrest warrants were executed at approximately 75 locations within Los Angeles and surrounding counties. So it looks like, man, for the most part, this was a successful bust. And based on the way that the scheme was laid out, they have enough information to get everybody. Now, 2 notorious LA County criminal gangs were the culprits and the masterminds of this alleged scheme. I wonder if it'll ever come to light who those gangs are, because a lot of people online are trying to figure that out as of now, man. Not like it makes any difference or any importance, but man, if you were smart, I'd tell people no so quick. Ain't no way I'm gonna just be opening up an account in my name to cash a phony or forged check in my name, dog. I'm not doing that. That's automatically gonna come back on me. Then anything dealing with the Postal Service, you looking at Fed time, they always gonna tag that wire fraud on you, man. You're gonna be doing crazy time just behind cashing somebody's birthday check or something like that. It ain't worth it, dog. It ain't worth it, man. Crazy, man. Crazy. But man, for those two gangs, they made out like fat rats for a long time. $5 million for some street dudes? They was like, man, let's go with this. It's still, they were probably shocked. They were probably like, man, this is still working? Like, we just taking checks and cashing them at a bank and opening up bank accounts for them, and this is still working. Man, I guess they was going to milk this dry, because you would think that, once they got away with it for a little bit, they would have said, nah, forget this, man. Let's quit this. But money's money, man, and it's expensive to live outside in LA. You know what I'm saying? Now, my bad. I went on a little tirade there, but man, and I've been neglecting the chat, but y'all don't neglect that like button. Make sure you hit that like button, you know what I mean? And we're going to roll over to our next story, man. And I didn't even ask y'all your opinion on that one, man. So let's dig in the chat just a little bit, man. See what you guys are talking about. Boom, boom, boom. 56 people who received checks. Yeah, the 56 people who got arrested on warrants probably were the ones who received the checks. So what's the update on Thug and Gunna? Yeah, we're going to get to that. We getting to that. Don't worry. Those people can show them DMs were in desperate times. Yeah, man, it could be they were in desperate times. It also could have been they was greedy. You know what I'm saying? That's a high possibility as well, because a lot of people got addicted to that money, man. A lot of people, that money, after all that, money that was passed out with the EDD, the PPP and all that, it was like, nah, man, I don't want to go back to bologna sandwiches, dog. I was just eating Grey Poupon and steak and all that. You know what I'm saying? Not together, but y'all get what I'm saying, man. For real. But man, okay, so let's move on to our next subject. And somebody asked about Young Thug and Gunna, man. So let's go there. Man. And what's the best way? Let's take this headline down. All right, man. So man. When it comes to Young Thug and Gunna, and this is just my personal opinion, I feel like, the DA is playing with them, dog. And not playing with them like, in a good way. Pause on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, basically messing with their lives. Like, because the DA, as you can see in this headline, is asking to delay the trial. Now, why could that be bad? Why isn't that good? The biggest reason is Gunna and Young Thug have been locked up in jail since May. One is in the Fulton County Jail. I believe the other is in the Cobb County Jail. They've been in there since May. Every time they've tried to get bond, it has been denied, because it's been painted that Young Thug and Gunna are both violent criminals at the head of a criminal organization and willing to intimidate witnesses. That is what's been painted out there, right? So them trying to delay the trial only makes them have to sit in jail more. And that's the play, in my opinion. Having them sit in jail more time until trial, and you'll see how far advanced, because this court case was supposed to get started in January, right? It got kicked. There's a request being put in for it to be kicked even further in the future. So I'm like, man, I know we have rules about speedy trial just for this reason, because you don't want to be sitting in jail and cop out to something that you know you didn't do just because you tired of being in jail. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like that's the game that the Atlanta DA is playing, man. And they named the Atlanta DA in this specifically. Now, I don't know that for a fact, but it just seems a little shady when you consider these cats has been sitting and they still have, they've been charged and these haven't been brought to trial yet. You feel me? And every time they've gone to get bond, it's been denied. So let's actually look at a news story that talks about this before we, you know what? Let's play the video. Let's do that, man. Let's go there. Let me see.
The trial for Atlanta rappers Young Thug and Gunna.
Both could be stuck in jail for a few more months, waiting for their day in court. If Fulton County prosecutors
Yeah, man. Yo, I'm going to let this rock. But yo, y'all do me a favor. Make sure y'all hit that like button right now.
get their way. News Edge reporter Tyler Fingert is at the live desk tonight to explain. So, Tyler, what's going on?
Well, Christine, Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis filed this 10-page motion this afternoon to delay the trial of young Thug, Gunna, and 26 other defendants in a large RICO case. The delay request all has to do with the fact that more than a quarter of the suspects don't have attorneys yet.
The writing on the wall was clear for Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis. In a motion filed Thursday,
Now, she is getting her, well, I said I'll let it rock, so I'm going to let it rock. But she's getting her name out there a lot. So if she has future political aspirations, like people were saying, I can see where it is, you know what I mean?
asked for a delay in the racketeering case against Young Thug and Gunna. In the motion, Willis says 8 of the 28 defendants in the case still don't have attorneys, months after their indictments. She's asking that the trial, which is currently scheduled for January 9th, be delayed until March 27th to give the defendants time to get a lawyer. In the motion, she writes, a continuance to the final week in March would protect the speedy trial rights of those who have asserted those rights, while also ensuring that the additional 8 defendants have properly prepared appointed counsel. Young Thug and Gunna's real names are Jeffrey Williams and Sergio Kitchens. Both sit behind bars along with 23 other co-defendants waiting for trial. Prosecutors believe Williams and Kitchens led a street gang called Young Slime Life. The DA's office says the two, along with their associates, used violence, drugs, and even murder to make money. The Thursday motion also said the defendants should be tried together because they participated in the same conspiracy and similar evidence would be used in each trial. In the motion, prosecutors write that they are concerned about the inconvenience and trauma of repeated testimony of witnesses who were the victims of violent gang crimes.
The judge will look at the motion later this month and make a decision. We should point out attorneys for the rappers have repeatedly denied the charges. At the live desk, Tyler Finger.
All right, man, before we run this back, man, y'all heard that, man. Oh, my bad, too close to the mic. But y'all heard that, right? So basically, they're using the fact that most of the people, most of the co-defendants in this case with Young Thug and Gunna don't have lawyers. So they're saying they need to push the court case to like March or something like that. All the while, still denying these cats bond, man. So by the time that they even get to trial, it'll be almost a year that they sat in jail, man. Now think about this. YFN Lucci has been in jail longer than they have. He got busted before them, man. So it's looking pretty crazy as far as these RICO cases are going on in Georgia. Now, a lot of people are saying this is a backhanded, you know what I'm saying, tactic in order to say, yo, we going to keep them in jail and eventually somebody going to crack. Somebody's going to fold because a lot of people are already looking at Gunna like, man, he ain't going to be able to do all that time. Dude has already been in jail since May. It's been about 6-7 months. Duh, how much more time can he do, especially if he really feels that he's innocent, man? So this could build strife between the team. And a lot of people are calling this a tactic used by the DA's office. You know, I can't prove that, so I ain't calling it that. But a lot of people are saying this is a tactic used by the DA's office to kind of stall them out and make them break even more because they got to be on the verge of it. You already have 2 people out here that people are saying are informants. Now, I haven't seen anything official. I've watched all the videos. We was here live. We talked about that ourselves, about somebody by the name of YSL Woody or Lil Woody being a potential informant and another guy as well, man. But, yo, this is crazy because if that's the case and they know that they don't get bail, cats might start saying, forget it, man. Forget all this. Forget going to trial. We've been in jail long enough. Let's go. But, man, to be real, don't we have rules, laws in place for this so that doesn't happen? Like, you have the right to a speedy trial, right? Now, I'm no attorney, and I can't give any legal advice, but that seems kind of shady, bro. That seems real shady. Ain't even no kind of to it. You see what I'm saying? Thought it was, yo, that's crazy, man. I don't think, it seems like a disadvantage and a bad thing for Gunna and Young Thug. Because either way, they go to trial or not, they've been sitting in jail this whole time without any way of getting out or any even inkling of freedom to look at. You know what I mean? All they hear about is the bad stuff and all the time that they're looking at. So, You know, somebody's probably going to fold, man. Let's be real. Somebody's going to fold, dog. Like, especially if they push the court case out till March. And just last month, during, I think it was Thug's last bond hearing, where they said, the judge had established that, they were going to be having the trial in January. January is what, like 2-3 months from now? So that doesn't look as bad. But when you talk about waiting in jail until March, you talk about really waiting in jail, bro. Like, I'm pretty sure Gunna ready to crack, you know? For real, man. He was just at the Met Gala, man. He wasn't ready for this, you know what I'm saying? But, man, let me play that news clip again, man, for y'all so y'all can soak all this up.
The trial.
Oh, yeah, man. Y'all hit that like button, get them likes up, man. Let's go.
For Atlanta rappers Young Thug and Gunna.
Both could be stuck in jail for a few more months, waiting for their day in court if Fulton County prosecutors get their way. News Edge reporter Tyler Fingert is at the live desk tonight to explain. So, Tyler, what's going on?
Well, Christine, Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis filed this 10-page motion this afternoon to delay the trial of Young Thug, Gunna, and 26 other defendants in a large RICO case. The delay request all has to do with the fact that more than a quarter of the suspects don't have attorneys yet.
The writing on the wall was clear for Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis. In a motion filed Thursday, she asked for a delay in the racketeering case against Young Thug and Gunna.
You heard that, man. So, all right, she asked for a delay in the court case, man, and they want to push it out till March. They had to file this 10-page document. We're going to give a look at that document. I told y'all this is going to be a long show, man. So we going to look at that document as well, and it's the same one you see right here.
In the motion, Willis says 8 of the 28 defendants in the case still don't have attorneys, months after their indictments. She's asking that the trial, which is currently scheduled for January 9th, be delayed until March 27th to give the defendants time to get a lawyer. In the motion, she writes, a continuance to the final week in March would protect the speedy trial rights of those who have asserted those rights, while also ensuring that the additional 8 defendants have properly prepared appointed counsel. Young Thug and Gunna's real names are Jeffrey Williams and Sergio Kitchens. Both sit behind bars along with 23 other co-defendants waiting for trial. Prosecutors believe...
Now, the fact that they're sitting behind bars while all this is going on and their bond keeps getting denied, man, it seems like mental trickery, you know what I'm saying? It seems like an ill tactic or a backhanded tactic in order to make them break, man, to make them more willing to get a plea deal, you know? That's not what I'm saying. That's what people are saying out here, right? Because you have the right to a speedy trial. You have a right to, you know, and then, okay, I would say there's no merit in any of that, right? Because obviously that's illegal, you know? So, and I'm not saying that that's what they're doing because that's illegal, right? But man, think about this. They've already had issues in this case where they've been trying to get the discovery, trying to find paperwork in the discovery. Then they wanted to not redact, but hide certain things because they said that there was a potential for witnesses to be harmed. There have been so many back and forths and plays in this, man. It's been crazy, man. And it just seems like with them trying to push the trial out further, it's just another tactic or another play in their book, man, when trying to go after these RICO cases. Kids, stay out of trouble.
Williams and Kitchens led a street gang called Young Slime Life. The DA's office says the two, along with their associates, used violence, drugs, and even murder to make money. The Thursday motion also said the defendants should be tried together because they participated in the same conspiracy and similar evidence would be used in each trial. In the motion, prosecutors write that they are concerned about the inconvenience and trauma of repeated testimony of witnesses.
Now, you heard that. They want to actually try Young Thug and Gunna together. You know what I'm saying? They don't want them separated because they say that there's a potential for both of them, since they're leaders in this gang, to alleged leaders in this gang. I just don't see Gunna as that. I can't see it, bro. I know I heard about the situation in College Park, how there's this Crip gang or whatever. Man, I heard about all that. But man, I can't see it. I can't see it yet. You know what I mean? But, I mean, when things come out in court, we'll see. We'll see. But, yo, now they pushing to try them both together and pushing for it to be in March, man. Trying to get these cats to break is what it seems like.
Who were the victims of violent gang crimes.
The judge will look at the motion later this month and make a decision. We should point out attorneys for the rappers have repeatedly denied the charges. At the live desk, Tyler Finger.
Now, with that being said, okay, let's say that Gunna and Young Thug's trial does get pushed out and they get found innocent, like, how am I going to get all that time back? How do you compensate me for all that money I lost in this situation? You know what I'm saying? Because the kind of money that they're losing, Gunna specifically, you're talking about, I think his album, is it still the #1 selling album this year? Y'all tell me in the chat if I'm wrong about that, but I think it's still the #1 selling album this year, the highest selling album. It went platinum, right? Imagine the bag that Gunna is missing out on right now. That's got to hurt. Gunna about to break. I'm telling you, man. I don't know that for a fact, but man, he's missing so much money right now. It's ridiculous. Since May, could you imagine all the summer shows, all the festivals that just went through, the Rolling Loud here, the Rolling Loud there? Bruh, Gunna missed so much money. He would have been headlining some of those. He would have been, if he wasn't headlining, he would have been in the top billing for a lot of those. You know what I'm saying? He'd have been getting maximum dollars, man. This is crazy. Young Thug too, man. So, man, let's actually look at this document just a little bit, man, because, you know, I'm nosy, man. Let's go. I'm about to look. Let's bring this up. All right, so this is the same news story that news clip came from. And it says about the same thing. In a motion, Willis says 8 of the 28 defendants in the case still don't have attorneys, months after their indictment. She is asking that the trial scheduled for January 9th be delayed until March 27th to give the defendants time to get a lawyer. Now, that's a long delay. From January 9th to March 27th, remember, we just looked at the case with Straight Drop, with the young Dolph case, right? The judge was serious about them getting attorneys or either getting appointed, and I don't know the difference between the law in Memphis and the law in Georgia, but the judge told him, no, if you do not have a lawyer within 2 weeks, you are getting a public defender. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So that makes me think, man, something else is up. To want the trial pushed 3 months in advance from January to March, maybe they're not done building their case together, or combing through all the things that they need to comb through. Maybe that's the reason why they're having a tough time getting the discovery allegedly and all that, man. You know? Because they need 3 more months in order for these 8 people to get attorneys. I don't know. I ain't buying it. I'm not buying it. You know what I mean? Now, my bad. I've been neglecting the chat, but I really want to get to some of these points, man. If you got something crazy or something serious you want me to talk about, go ahead, super chat it in. But until then, man, I'm going to be rocking out. Now, it also says, hopefully y'all can see that. Y'all see that, man? Okay, y'all see that? Okay, cool. It says, in the motion, she writes, a continuance to the final week in March would protect the speedy trial rights of those who have asserted those rights, while also ensuring that the additional 8 defendants have properly prepared appointed counsel. So they want to take 3 extra months in order for 8 people to get lawyers. Why can't the judge come down like he did in the Young Dolph case and say, hey, either get you a lawyer or in the next 2 weeks or you getting a public defender? Boom, that's it. You know what I mean? Some don't seem right. So this is the motion right here. State's motion for continuance. Comes now to state of Georgia by, and let's blow that up for you guys to see. Because I know that's too small. Can y'all see that? Yeah, looks a little bit bigger, right? All right. So it says, comes now to state of Georgia, District Attorney Fannie T. Willis, and requests this court grant a continuance of the trial date in the above, blah, 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 right? So introduction, 6th Amendment, right? Let me see. All right, so let's look at this right here. It says, in the present case, the state now raises concerns that 8 defendants may be forced to trial with ill-prepared appointed counsel, as contemplated in black. The following in custody defendants still have not been assigned counsel, despite the efforts of the state and this court in setting multiple hearings so counsel may be assigned. Maybe this is a push to get them assigned counsel faster, so that way they can get to the trial faster, man. Maybe that's the push from the back end too. So it looks like Khalif Adams, Cordarius Dorsey, Christian Ippinger, all these guys were in court recently. Remember the video we just did, or the live we did last month? These are guys that got called up. So we had Javon Fleetwood, Demise McCullen, Quamarius Nichols, Rodalius Ryan, and Antonio Sledge. So all of those names, two of those guys are being accused of taking part in the attempted stabbing of YFN Lucci, yo. Two of those guys. And then the other guys, they were being called in court. And they were having some issues in court in order to get them on the live feed. Because one guy, he was down in South Georgia. The other guy, he was somewhere else in another jail. So some of these guys were already locked up previously, man. So it goes on to say, trial is currently scheduled for blah, blah, blah. Y'all don't care about that. Defendants should be tried together. All right, so this is the part about Young Thug. They want to try Young Thug. Okay, so it says, additionally, a continuance is required because all defendants need to be tried together. As addressed at length in the state's response to several defendants' motions for severance, severance is not proper in this case because all 25 defendants currently in custody were allegedly to have participated in the same conspiracy. This is YSL's criminal street gang. They should be tried together. See, these reference, you know how lawyers do, man. They reference certain RICO cases and things like that. But basically, they listed the 8 people that they know for a fact need lawyers in order for the trial to go on the specified date. I don't know, man. Y'all tell me what y'all think. All right, so do you think these 8 people out of the whole 25 calls for the court case to be pushed all the way until March? I know none of us are legal professionals, but I don't know. Sounds a bit iffy to me, man. Sounds like this just seems like another tactic from the DA's office, man, to put the squeeze on Young Thug in them, man, and also to gather more information or get their ducks in a row before going to trial to allow them more time, because they've got to try 25 people in a RICO case, and they've got to find ways to make sure they tied everything together. You know what I'm saying? So bringing that conviction is going to take work on their behalf as well. So we're going to drop that. We're going to drop that. Let me go. Oop, my bad. Sorry about that dead silence. But yo, I was working on the back end to make sure I brought that down. But I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments section for people who watch this later, because most of y'all watch these way later. And in the chat, you know what I'm saying? In the chat, y'all tell me what y'all think. Do y'all think this is a tactic by the DA's office to put the squeeze on YSL and Young Thug in them? Or do you think possibly that, man, maybe they are looking out for those 8 people out of the 25 to get attorneys, you know what I mean? Or legal representation in enough time to go to trial. So that way they don't call them back to court later and be like, yo, we didn't even have time to prepare and ask for it later. You know what I mean? Crazy, man. The thing about court cases is it seems like, man, a battle of the back and forth. It seems like a battle of the back and forth between the DA's office or the prosecution and the defense and the judge. It's like this balancing thing, man. It's interesting, man, when to see it play out like that. Crazy, man. Crazy. Did he show any sympathy for his baby mama getting hit up? Oh, y'all talking about Young Thug and YFN? Yeah, whatnot? Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. Crazy. All this could be tied to that. Yeah, it seems like, man, to be honest, it feels like they building the plane while they flying it. They have to follow procedure. If they don't, the whole thing could be thrown out. That's true. That is true. Hey, what up, Dream Doll? I see you. That is true. That is true. Crazy, man. But either way, no matter what, Young Thug and Gunna are losing in this situation because they've got legal representation, you know, and I'm not sure if their legal representation is ready to go to trial either. Maybe that extra 3 months is better for their lawyers to build a better case on their behalf. So, man, maybe you can't look a gift horse in their mouth. But, man, some are saying this is just another tactic to make these cats crack, you know? All right, man, so let's stop with that, man. And we played that video enough times, so we're going to continue on. And let's talk about the latest developments in this PnB Rock situation, right? So PnB Rock lost his life tragically, right? And, you know, he was one of the rappers who ended up losing his life in LA. This happened recently. And it was all due to the fact that somebody wanted to steal his chain, man, rob him, right? 3 out of the 4 suspects has been caught. But there's also a video out there, and I've seen other people talk about this, about a 4th suspect on the loose. So let's actually take a look at this news story that discusses such.
New court documents are shedding light on the killing of rapper PnB Rock. Gigi Graciette joins us here in studio now with the latest details. I am just overwhelmed by the number of details that have been coming out about this case, a lot of which as a result of your own digging.
And certainly some really sad details in the last moments of PnB Rock's life. Both Freddie Lee Trone, who had been on the run from police but was arrested in Las Vegas yesterday, and his 17-year-old son have been charged with murder in the death of the rapper, although prosecutors say it was the teenager who actually killed him. And we are learning more about what happened that fateful day. Now, the felony complaint starts with a mystery man in red. He has yet to be identified, but prosecutors say he saw PnB Rock and his girlfriend arrive at Roscoe's wearing expensive jewelry. From the wording, it appears he may have been inside the restaurant. He then waits outside until Freddie Lee Trone is seen arriving. The 2 men talk outside Roscoe's. Trone then leaves, but he returns shortly with his 17-year-old son this time, who prosecutors say was armed with a gun. Trone drops him off a short distance away from Roscoe's. Trone Jr. then goes inside, walking straight to the table where the rapper and his girlfriend were sitting, eating, pointing a gun at them, prosecutors allege, and saying, "Give me all of your jewelry now." The very next item on the timeline has the teen shooting PnB Rock in the chest, just like that. And after he fell to the ground, prosecutors say the teenager shot him 2 more times, this time in the back. The felony complaint goes on to say the teenager then pointed the gun at PnB's girlfriend, Steph, saying, quote, "Show me your hands, give me that blank right now. I swear to God, I shoot you in the head." The teen then robbed her, took her jewelry, and the complaint says that as the rapper lay dying on the floor of the restaurant, the teenager robbed him too, taking his chains and watch and pulling his rings off of his fingers. Now, the timeline in the complaint ends with the father driving back to Roscoe's to pick up his son, and then they went home. But prosecutors say they parked blocks away, and as they walked, the teenager got rid of his shoes and his shirt. There is no mention of that social media post from PnB's girlfriend that tagged them eating at Roscoe, although police say they're still investigating. As for the man in red, well, they're looking for him.
Now, what's crazy about this 4th suspect, right? This could be anybody, man, because they say they see a man in a red shirt, right? It could be anybody out there hanging out that was involved in this. You know what I mean? Like, this could have been a bum that they had, like, yo, man, every week we'll come by, we'll give you a cheeseburger, or come by, we'll give you a little change, man. Just tell us if you see anybody in here look like they floss and got money or something like that. Then you come tell us, and then we'll go in there and we'll do whatever we got to do. But you'll keep getting your cheeseburger, you know what I'm saying, every week. You know what I mean? That's what this sounds like. So this, how significant this 4th suspect is, yeah, he's the one that was actually the spotter. He's the one that actually saw PnB Rock and said, yo, that's the dude with the money that you need to rob. You know what I mean? So, yes, he's equally responsible, but nobody's responsible as the 17-year-old who shot PnB Rock once in the chest and twice in the back when he was already on the ground, man. This played out like a gruesome scene for PnB Rock, man. This is crazy. And also turned the gun on his girl and said, give me your stuff too, and I'm not playing. And she did so, you know what I mean? Now, it hasn't been said that PnB Rock fought back or anything like that. Sound like dude was just trigger happy and had something to prove. It could have been internal jealousy or anything like that, but that's what I gather from this situation. But, man, let's play it one more time. I know. Let's run it back real quick, you know?
New court documents are shedding light on the killing of rapper PnB Rock. Gigi Graciette joins us here in studio now with the latest details. I am just overwhelmed by the number of details that have been coming out about this case, a lot of which is a result of your own digging.
And certainly some really sad details in the last moments of PnB Rock's life. Both Freddie Lee Trone, who had been on the run from police but was arrested in Las Vegas yesterday, and his 17-year-old son have been.
Now, what's crazy is, man, this ended up being a family affair. You had Freddie Lee Trone, his son get arrested, and you had his wife get arrested, man. Now his wife was in court crying already. Like she was already looking like she was crying. So we already know where that's going, but let's go.
Charged with murder in the death of the rapper, although prosecutors say it was the teenager who actually killed him. And we are learning more about what happened that fateful day. Now, the felony complaint starts with a mystery man in red. He has yet to be identified, but prosecutors say he saw PnB Rock and his girlfriend arrive at Roscoe's wearing expensive jewelry. From the wording, it appears he may have been inside the restaurant.
Now, what's crazy is, okay, we've had a lot of people come out and blame PnB Rock, you know? And I hate to say blame because you hate to really blame a real victim in a situation like this, especially when he loses his life. But, man, according to all reports, every gangster in the world went to TikTok, made a video about it. Everybody talked about it, man. That Roscoe's Chicken and Waffle restaurant is the worst one in all of LA. You know, it sits on the east side of LA in the heart of a gang district, or not even a gang district, a gang area with gangs to the left, front, side to side. Some at war, some not. Some further down the street that are at war with the gangs that are close to the restaurant who don't even, they're 2 blocks away and never have gone to that restaurant before because it's just, it's a death trap. Like it's well-known death trap. For that reason, they have the cameras, they have the footage, they have everything they need to prosecute a good case. But man, for PnB Rock, it's just an unwise decision.
He then waits outside until Freddie Lee Trone is seen arriving. The two men talk outside Roscoe's. Trone then leaves, but he returns shortly with his 17-year-old son this time, who prosecutors say was armed with a gun. Trone drops him off a short distance away from Roscoe's. Trone Jr. then goes inside, walking straight to the table where the rapper and his girlfriend were sitting, eating, pointing a gun at them, prosecutors allege, and saying, "Give me all of your jewelry now." The very next item on the timeline has the teen shooting PnB Rock in the chest, just like that. And after he fell to the ground, prosecutors say the teenager shot him 2 more times, this time in the back. The felon.
That's crazy, man. Now, what's wild is, I was going to get to this story next. The teen had just got out of jail, man. Like, what kind of parenting was Freddie Lee Trone doing out here, dog? Like, who in the world, I don't know, I don't have a son or anything like that, right? But I couldn't imagine him getting out of jail, right? And then me taking him to go on a mission to commit more crimes. I don't care what we trying to eat or how bad this is, the logic behind this is crazy, man. It just goes to show that some of these cats just be crazy, dog. And I hate to throw that around lightly, but that's how they seem, you know? And I'm no doctor. I can't qualify that or, diagnose that. But, dog, that's what it just seems like, man.
The complaint goes on to say the teenager then pointed the gun at PnB's girlfriend, Steph, saying, quote, "Show me your hands. Give me that blink right now. I swear to God, I shoot you in the head." The teen then robbed her, took her jewelry, and the complaint says that as the rapper lay dying on the floor of the restaurant, the teenager robbed him too.
That's crazy, man. So dude literally took the jewels off his neck. We heard that in other stories before, but this is an account of everybody who was in there that was a witness and based on the video footage that was provided to police department. So dude just took, that's just like the scene out of Menace to Society when Cousin Harold got shot. You know what I mean? Cousin Harold was like, yo, I ain't going out like no sucker, but man, dude shot him, wiped off the mirror with Cousin Harold on there. It was just crazy, man. Them LA dudes, man, some of them cats is heartless, bro. So, rappers need to be, they need to be on their P's and Q's out there. Because if you ain't from where they from, you ain't from their hood, you ain't from none of that, they don't care about you, dog. You ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know why. Let's continue.
Taking his chains and watch and pulling his rings off of his fingers. Now, the timeline in the complaint ends with the father driving back to Roscoe's to pick up his son, and then they went home. But prosecutors say they parked blocks away, and as they walked, the teenager got rid of his shoes and his shirt. There is no mention of that social.
Now, I wonder if they were able to retrieve the shoes and shirt that he tried to toss. Like, if he tossed his shoes and shirt, I wonder if they have that. Because if he have that, they're going to have the gun blast on there. They're going to have PnB Rock's DNA, sorry to hear that, R.I.P., right? They're going to have his DNA on there. They're going to have the guy's DNA on there. Open and shut case. done deal. You know, just plead out to whatever you can for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? Try to avoid the death penalty, because if they have his garments that he wore during the shooting, he's done, cooked. You know what I mean? Let's go.
Media post from PnB's girlfriend that tagged them eating at Roscoe, although police say they're still investigating. As for the man in red, well, they're looking for
the mysterious man in red. I wonder if they're ever going to catch this guy. You know what I mean? Like, was the camera work that good, or the surveillance cameras outside of the restaurant that good to where they got the guy in the red, but they got him, you know, I'm pretty sure he knows that they're looking for him. So that outfit is gone, probably burned or whatever, man. And he probably didn't think this was going to lead to a murder. And I'm not trying to shoot him no bail or nothing like that, but think about it. He thinks he's just a spotter for robbers. He didn't know they was going to go in there and kill him. But, you know, if you playing that kind of game, what do they say? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, man. So you could be sitting in jail for the rest of your life, or a good portion of your life, off of the actions of another person, man. Don't sign me up, dog. Don't sign me up. You know what I mean? Crazy, man. Y'all get them likes up, man. Let's go. We should be well over as many likes as we got. You know what I mean? But let's keep it rocking, man. Now, I said I was gonna talk about this story, man, about the 17-year-old in this case. So let's talk about it. All right, here we go. So this is the story that I'm talking about, and hopefully you guys can see that, right? And basically, this is what it says. It says, juvenile arrested in rapper slaying, released days earlier for illegal gun charge, source. You know what I mean? So basically saying that the juvenile had been released from jail just a couple of days before he shot and killed PnB Rock, allegedly, or reportedly, right? Now, the Los Angeles juvenile arrested in connection with the September 12th murder of PnB Rock, born Raheem Allen. Hold up, September 12th. Man, it still hasn't been a month, dog. That was, man, I can't believe it feels like it's been longer since this story dropped. But let's go. Like, the dude had, the same person, he had previously been arrested for illegal possession of a firearm and released just days before the rapper's shooting death at a restaurant, a source tells Fox News Digital. You know what I mean? Now, the juvenile and his father, 40-year-old Freddie Lee Trone, were arrested in Las Vegas on the 29th of September for their roles in Allen's slaying at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, right? Now, I think that might be a typo or mistype, because didn't the 17-year-old get arrested in Gardena, I believe, with the mom? I'm pretty sure that's how that went down. Y'all tell me in the chat. Then it said, days before the rapper's death, the juvenile had been released from prison under the condition of electronic monitoring. He had been arrested on September 3rd and charged with illegal possession of a weapon, according to a source familiar with the case. Now, the juvenile has 3 other priors in addition to his September 3rd case, including illegal possession of a firearm last year and 2 stolen vehicle charges. Dang, this dude was tripping, man. So, hold up, man. So, all in a month, he had all these charges. The juvenile had 3 other priors in addition to the 3 September case, including illegal possession of a firearm last year and a stolen vehicle charges. What's wild is the dad had mad charges. You know what I'm saying? Like, the dad had a whole bunch of charges under his belt, man, previously. Like, and he had got off, light sentence here, light tap on the wrist there, and then eventually this happened. You know what I'm saying? So say what you want about that. Now, in quotes, it says that my prayers go out to the family, friends, and girlfriend of PnB Rock, another sad and senseless act of gun violence in Los Angeles under the reign of George Gascon. George implemented over 60 directives the day he took office on December 7, 2020. Not a single one addressed or dealt with public safety, Los Angeles Deputy DA Jonathan Hatmani told Fox News Digital in a statement. So it's kind of politicizing what's going on here as a part of, a bigger issue going on in the local community. You know what I mean? Now, it says LA District Attorney George Gascon only issues misdemeanor charges to 16 and 17-year-olds accused of illegal possession of a firearm. Prosecutors may also forego firearm charges entirely, Hatmani said. So he's saying, based on the new DA's soft stance on 16 and 17-year-olds, it might lead to situations like we had with PnB Rock. You know what I mean? Now the rest of this does go into that political realm, so I don't want to harp on that because, like, man, like I don't do politics. Dog. That's one thing I don't do. You know what I'm saying? But to be real, to think that dude had previously, committed all those other crimes, had just got out a couple of days before and was out with his dad, ready to commit another caper, that's a whole nother level of crash dummy, man. Like, you didn't even think to take a break or nothing. Like, this is crazy, man. Craziness, man. All right, man. So, man, let's move on, man. I know we've been talking about this PnB Rock situation for a second, so I'm going to let y'all chill on that. And we gonna move on and talk about something else. And to wrap it up, let's just talk. We got 2 more things. So let's talk about Kanye West and Boosie, man. Y'all want to talk about that? Y'all let me know he was a crash dummy for real. Yeah, dude was a crash dummy. Oh, man, y'all do me a favor. Get them likes up. Hit that like button, y'all. Everybody, if you're in here right now listening, make sure you hit that like button. And we're going to move on to Kanye and Boosie, man. And actually, man, let's look at this. Right here, man. So, Ye and Boosie exchange words. So, we got what's being called T-shirt gate, right? T-shirt gate is a situation on social media that's playing out through different news entities depending on who you watch, right? You got Kanye West and another kind of political figure, Candace Owens, wore some controversial T-shirts to a fashion show, right? Now, the T-shirts by some are being felt as disrespectful to the black community. To others, it's being felt disrespectful to just human rights and basic civil rights and things like that, right? But it's become a totally politicized and polarized event around these T-shirts. I am not joking. It's that much of a big deal. Now, you could take this lightly and say it is what it is. People wear what they want to wear. But Kanye himself has taken to social media ever since Friday to talk about everybody's interpretation of what he did in detail, man. Now, y'all tell me, is this clout chasing, dog? Like, are we all going down the same rabbit hole? Like, because when I see this, it looks like everybody's grabbing for attention. Everybody except for Boosie. Boosie got dragged into this because he speaks freely and he speaks his mind. He speaks with conviction and he speaks and says what he feels. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't sway from that for anybody, wrong or right. You kind of have to appreciate that. It's almost the same appeal that Charleston White has. You know what I mean? He's just old Southern and shoots and says it, shoots from the hip. Says it how he feels it. You know what I mean? Calls it how he sees it. And with Kanye, he did one and the same. He did something similar. So he was on Drink Champs. And he made some statements about it. And I can't play that. But I can break it down. Okay. So Boosie was on Drink Champs. And basically, he told Kanye personally, like, yo, he took issue with him wearing those shirts because he felt like it minimized the struggle of black people in America and it minimized the plight of black people in America and kind of, took the light off of the things that we've accomplished as well. You know what I'm saying? He took it as a direct slap in the face for the black community, the hip hop community, and otherwise, man, and other marginalized people as well, right? And he was vocal about that on his Drink Champs interview. And he said it in a way where you knew he was serious, but he really wasn't trying to demonize or diss Kanye. Well, Kanye fired back and said this right here, man. He actually posted this. He's on his Instagram page with a picture of Boosie. And it said, "Don't speak on me, little Boosie. Speak to me, yeah, little nerd, me. Come smack me or come shoot me. I'm the one that got bullied by the entire black celebrity community. Now I'm back to," I can't say that last part. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm back to do something crazy. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that he said that had Boosie even like, yo, man, is this dude okay? Like, Boosie was like, duh, like, are you serious? You know what I'm saying? Like, number one, a lot of people have written Kanye off as being a certain type of way. You know what I mean? And they're like, certain people who act that way, something might not be right with them. Feel me? Boosie retorted by saying this. And there was a video, but it's too much cussing in it. But he said this in his post. He says, talking about you back to and got a school is not the right words. So basically talking about the fact that Kanye got a school and he's talking about doing something crazy. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no smoke at Kanye West. Just couldn't let you do that our race. He probably meant just couldn't let you do that to our race. His loved ones really need to get at Kanye West some help. This the Get Out movie in real life, shaking my head. So Boosie was trying to end it there, and it ended there because Kanye went back and deleted his post to Boosie. Boosie was basically telling him like, yo, dog, his folks need to get involved and get him some help. And for him to be saying what he said on social media is wild, man. Like he's really bugging in that instance. You know what I'm saying? Now, for me personally, I'm like whatever with Kanye. You know what I'm saying? Love the music, love the shoes. You know what I'm saying? Depending on which shoes it is, I'm picky about that. But I mean, a lot of these things I think is clout chasing. I think he'd be not like he needs clout because dude is a billionaire. You know what I mean? But I think he craves that attention. He craves that people are always talking about them and he's in the media. And right now, he has a news interview with Tucker Carlson that is doing crazy numbers. Crazy numbers where he's being interviewed by one side of the political, spectrum. I don't like to talk politics, so that's why I don't be talking about which party and that party and all this. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it seems like Boosie killed that or ended that where it needed to be. And I don't think Kanye West will be firing back at Boosie any other time. Like, he's been at it all weekend. Even right now, Kanye West is going at it with, like, different fashion designers, bringing up Virgil, who had passed away, and all sorts of things, and saying some things about his designs. I don't know, man, how to take this. I just take Kanye with a grain of salt, to be real with y'all. But y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section, man. Tell me what y'all think in the chat. Tell me what y'all think about this, man. Boosie said Kanye was hypnotized. Yeah, he did. It's pretty funny, too. He's kind of right. Kanye be on that other. Yeah, he do, man. Salute you, Speedy Rodriguez. What up, man? I ain't seen you in a second. What up, bro? What up? You already know. But yeah, man, to be honest, I ran a poll on my page. And we could even check it, man, if y'all want. But y'all can take my word for it. On that poll, and I'll check it on my phone. And while I'm checking the poll on my phone, y'all do me a favor. Everybody hit that like button, man. Make sure you hit that like button if you're here, if you're in here. You know what I mean? And let's look at this poll. All right, so on the poll, I said, who do you side with in the T-shirt argument between Boosie and Kanye West? I had a picture of Boosie. I had a picture of Kanye West. And it's got 2,000 votes, right? 2.3 thousand votes, right? 2.3K, right? And it says 80%, dog. 80% side with Boosie and 20% with Kanye. Now, the comments, I haven't gone through them and read them line for line, but it looks like a lot of people were just talking about, for what I can gather, that they shouldn't be at it anyway. It seems like Kanye's fight is with people with a lot bigger platforms and a whole bunch more money. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wants to battle the Titans. And I don't even know if he can win that battle, but right now it's looking like he's up for the challenge. So we'll see how this goes. Now, that's no encouragement or endorsement of what Kanye's doing, because I think he's wilding, dog. I think he's tripping, for real. And I agree with Boosie. He probably do need to go holler at somebody, man, like, for real. It's been going on too long. At some point, people are gonna get disinterested, right? But, man, I'm done talking about Kanye. I don't talk about him much because, I cover a lot of drill rap. I cover a lot of, what's guys on the grind coming up. Most of the guys who I talk about are usually just coming up, or if they're really big, there's cats who are really, really from the trenches. You know what I'm saying? Like Young Boy, Dirk, cats like that. You know what I'm saying? So, man, we're going to leave that one alone. So let's move on a little bit to something else I wanted to talk about. And it was an article from XXL. Let's bring that up. Okay, here we go. And it's talking about this YG song. So YG has a song called How to Rob a Rapper. Now, in this song, YG pretty much details how they go about robbing rappers. Now, there's several tactics and tricks that they use. They said that basically, they use fake IG pages, you know what I mean? Which is alarming, right? They even said there was even a line in the song, and it's not just YG in the song, it's also featuring Mozzie, right? And there's also a line in the song where it says, yo, they'll book fake appearances with rappers just to rob them, dog. Fake shows and things like that, get with their managers and stuff like that, just to rob them, dog. And I was thinking, like, how is that possible? Because most rappers, you got the front end, back end situation. So who would, like, that would be dumb. But maybe it's like, I don't know. I don't know how they pulling that off. Maybe some of that was just some cap. So let's go through the story. So YG has addressed that he dissed PnB, or addressed speculation that he dissed PnB Rock on his new song, How to Rob a Rapper. On Thursday, October 6th, YG was a guest on Power 106's LA Leakers radio show. The Compton, California rapper participated in the freestyle segment in which he responded to speculation that he was taking a shot at PnB Rock on the track How to Rob a Rapper, featuring Mozzie. The song is included on YG's new album, I Got Issues, which dropped on September 30th, spitting over Nipsey Hussle's Hustle in the House beat. YG discussed the uproar to close his verse. So a lot of people, and one of my homeboys, man, he's out west, he even hit me up about this song. Was like, yo, you heard this How to Rob a Rapper, man? Sounds like he's talking about what happened to PnB Rock, man. It sounds like they giving up the playbook on how they get it done to rob rap. If I was a rapper, that song is like preferred reading. Listen to that song with a notepad and a pen, dog, because they basically giving up the game on how to rob a rapper. You know what I'm saying? He was like, we send the homegirls after him, which is shady, and we've seen that play out. They'll send some girls at you. They'll send, like, set up fake meetings. They'll do whatever, man, just to get next to the rapper to rob him, man, because cats out there is hungry. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got no reason not to. Now, it says in quotes, and I'm guessing these are YG's words in the rap, says, I gotta say this, and how to rob a rapper ain't no diss. Just a message to these rappers, please be on you know what I mean? Letting them know to be on their 10 toes when they out there in California. Like, he's not dissing anybody who might have already been robbed by rappers, because there's a whole bunch of rappers who have been robbed that we don't even hear about. Like, I hear the rumors all the time, or at least I used to hear the rumors. I haven't heard of any lately. But I've heard about rappers getting robbed out in LA before. And he's just saying that, yo, take out your pen and pad, listen to this song, because this is how you can avoid getting robbed when you out here, man. And if you can't take from that, you tripping, you know what I mean? If I was a rapper, I'd be listening to that song on repeat 4 or 5, 6 times just so I can understand the play. Now, it also says that YG faced some backlash from PnB Rock fans following the release of the track. On the song, the 400 founder lays out a blueprint on how to stick up his colleagues. He even lays out a scenario about stalking a rapper through his Instagram live and catching him slipping at a restaurant, which was initially believed to be the case with PnB Rock's murder. Now, to be honest, YG probably recorded that song way before PnB Rock lost his life. Remember, PnB Rock lost his life on September 12th, I think it was. You know what I mean? So it was only a couple, I guess he did have time to make a song in that time, because his album dropped on September 30th. Maybe, but there's a process. YG's on a major, so he's got to do all sorts of clearing. It's over the Nipsey Hussle beat, so it's so much that they would have to do in order to clear that song. So I don't know. He probably recorded it way in advance, you know what I mean? Now, in quotes, it says, catcha lacking, he's slacking on IG Live. He gonna show his whereabouts on accident, he be high. YG raps. Also, he says in quotes, he gonna show the jewels he wearing and the car that he drive. Stupid. Showed the same location showed the same location 3 times. And it seems like every Friday after 8, he flexing crustacean menus like he liked to date or something like that, man. My bad. You know, I ain't out here rapping, man, and these somebody else's raps. But he's giving up the play. Like, he's basically saying, like, yo, they notice those consistent things in these rappers' IG lives. Like, he's telling you, like, if you go to the same restaurant every Friday, there's crustacean menus, like you taking pictures on your story. You like, yo, you always ordering seafood. They know where you at. You at a seafood restaurant, a steakhouse maybe. they can pinpoint all those little things. So rappers should be thanking him for giving this song, for giving up the goods in this song, man. He said, yo, he gonna show the jewels he wearing and the car that he drive. Stupid, showed the same location 3 times. Letting rappers know, like, yo, if you're gonna be in the same location or you're gonna be in the same place, don't show that mess too many times. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna be, if you go to someplace frequent, don't show it at all. Like, that's a dummy move. Because people are watching. They stalking your IG. He says it in the song. Like, we be stalking your IG live. Like, looking to see what we can see in the background. You think you got all these fans, and they like, oh, man, my IG's booming, man. I got like 10,000 people in there, man. They all fans. Nah, most of them are fans. Some of them cats is robbers. You know what I'm saying? Now, also in quotes, it says this. YG AF for that, how to rob a rapper. PnB Rock died down the street from his hood, but the song probably months old already, one Twitter user posted. And that's what I said. I said the song was probably made way before this. I mean, it lets you know that it's real, but man, you know what I'm saying? It's a sad situation, but if I was a rapper, I would take this, and I'm living, I would take this as a learning lesson. He said, we live in an age where songs can be removed from albums in real time. YG's How to Rob a Rapper should have been taken off considering PnB Rock's another person opinion. So they going through tweets talking about what other people have been saying about the song. You know what I mean? Somebody else said How to Rob a Rapper is fire, specifically YG's verse, but I completely understand the backlash. PnB just got clapped, and that verse is eerily accurate on how it went. You know what I mean? So what do y'all think, man? Do y'all think people are being overly sensitive with that by saying, yo, YG should take the song off his record because PnB Rock basically died in a similar fashion? Or do you think that, yo, man, this is a good thing for rappers to listen to, and this is a good thing for anybody to listen to? Because maybe you're doing something in your personal life where you get a lot of followers, and you have people, maybe even not a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, looking at your stuff, and they looking at your IG live, they're looking at your IG story, and you think that it's for a good reason, but it could be the setup. It could be the play, you know what I mean? Now, the story finishes by saying this isn't the first time YG has faced backlash. Remember, he had the one song talking about some political stuff, but PnB Rock's murder came very soon to when the album dropped. So, man, in my opinion, for a YG, I would just charge that to the game, bruh. Like, you can't help these cats. You know what I'm saying? Basically, he wrote a song trying to help rappers out and tell them how they plan these shootings out, and nobody took that into consideration. They just thought that he was being insensitive and didn't take it for a learning lesson as it is. Now, rest in peace to PnB Rock all day. You know, we don't appreciate what happened to him, but my personal opinion, what YG did is smart, it's creative, it's what hip hop is about. And when you have something like that, and like I said, he probably made this song months ago. When you have something like that you can relate it to, maybe that'll bring it home to rappers how serious the situation is. All right? All right, man. Now, with that, man, I know this has been relatively long show, man. You know what I'm saying? And the few of you who have been in here, who have been rocking with me, man, I appreciate each and every one of y'all, man. No doubt, no cap or none of that. You know what I'm saying? So, man, with that, man, y'all do me a favor, man. On your way out, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here, man. Yo, shout out the chat. Y'all been active. I've been seeing y'all going back and forth, having fun, talking mess. Hopefully you guys keep it lighthearted, man, because we all fans of somebody, man. So don't diss too hard, but I appreciate everybody adding what they feel in here. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up to me. You know what I mean? Now, with that, this has been your boy, Big Man, and we out. Hey, shout out to my moderators, Dream Doll, everybody, you know what I'm saying? And, oh, yeah, man, before we get up out of here, hold up. I'm tripping. Y'all, make sure y'all check out my live stream clips channel, man. Maybe I could bring it up for y'all, man. I got a whole nother channel where I chop these into bits for your consumption. You know what I'm saying? And I just started loading it up. So hopefully you guys can, and let me see. Let me bring it up for you guys to see. You know what I mean? And before we get out of here, And maybe I'll post it too. Boom, boom, boom. And you can tell because the little badge on it is gold as opposed, but man, and I don't have that many videos loaded up on here, but I want you guys to see that. And yo, don't be afraid to share these lives. Go ahead and share these lives as well. If you hit the like button, hit that share button too, man. Share it with as many people as you can because, man, we only going to be doing this like once a week, really, man. Only on Saturdays. We back on that vibe and more steady state videos for y'all. But let's see if we can do this. Boom. Boom. Yep, that's the Live Clips channel. So, man, capture that in your mind. Remember that, man. You can find it. Not too many subscribers yet, but, man, we're going to be building. And when this is done, after we're done chopping this down, we're going to put them all on there. So you guys can it's going to be broken into bits. So you don't have to sit through the whole thing if you want to just hear about YSL, or if you just want to hear about YG, or if you just want to hear about the LA gangs who ran the scheme on the post office. You know what I'm saying? This will be a place where you can see all of those things just in one spot, separated, you know what I'm saying, by their individual topics, which is dope. Yo, I appreciate each and every one of y'all, man. We're going to get out of here, man. So let's do this, man. Let's do this. Let's do this. All right, man. All right, yo. All right, shout out to everybody in the